Little ones tell me you have a sister. She will love it here. You, however, are finished.
Hey everyone, I'm back with another video. Today we're going to try to show you the tutorial on how I made this lovely yellow rabbit mask. So let's get started. For starters, I don't have every single video or photo of me making a frame of this, so I just gotta work what I got here, guys. So work on me with this. I try to save everything, but I guess I didn't save a lot. So let me show you how I did that. To get started with this tutorial, you want to use like a plastic or a cardboard mask for this. I followed Robbie's video, like I said. I used the wired method. I use it for the frame, and for the muzzle it's also made of wire, but you can use something different like foam. To keep the wire in place, you want to bend it and tape it or glue it together so it doesn't move and stuff. Just tie the wire to it together so it doesn't move. And you want to make sure to do the same thing when you put it on the cardboard mask by poking little holes. And yeah, that's how you can secure it. So once you get done with that, the next step is to make your frame look round and smooth. You can use polyfill or even like the small foam that you can buy from the Dollar General. I never used the foam. I just use polyfoam and just tape it over the frame like what Robbie did for his first one. It still works really good, but I'm going to try the foam technique. But here's what I did, and I'm going to show you everything what I did. So what do you want to do with this technique? Put the polyfill on the frame of the mask because you want to make sure your frame is covered neatly with tape or the whatever you want to use, like duct tape or masking tape on the frame. I would use the duct tape to keep the frame flat so you can put your polyfill around it. And then what you want to do after that, put your polyfill on top of that and then tape it over it. This will give you the nice round smooth look that you're trying to go for with this mask technique. And I think the results what we get with this, it looks really good. And you can see in this video, it looks really good. It looks really good. Yes, indeed. Now the next step. Even when you're sculpting with the polyfill, make sure your shapes are nice and even. Even look at the reference or even draw your reference on your mask. So make sure it's a good size and fitting. Noted. Make sure the mask is not too small or too big. Because if you make it too small, it's a little too tight for your head. And if it's too big, then you want to make another one and make it, like I said, just make it the comfortable size for your head. No one else's head, your head. So yeah, that's one even note to keep in mind. Just make sure it's the right size for you. To make your ears and jaw, you can make this out of the jaw out of wire, but also you can make it out of EVA foam or polyfill or the foam technique. I think EVA foam with wire and polyfill in it is the safer option. And then for your ears, you can make them out of polyfoam or even just EVA foam. It should work. So yeah, that's a safer route. And for your teeth, you want to use clay or even plastic molding beads that you can heat up with warm water, or just use some foam clay. For your eyes, you want to use ping pong balls, everything that's ping pong balls, and then your eyelids, ping pong balls. Now let's say it's been roughly a week of you working on that frame and everything else. Now it's time to get started on fabricating. Fabricating is the easiest part for me, but it might be hard for you. So I'm going to give you some slight tips if you need some help to lay your fabric flat or just to sew fabric in general. Because there is a possible chance that you could use the wrong type of fabric for this job. So let me show you what we use. So the type of fabric that I like to use is called fleece or Antron fleece or okay, there's a lot of fleeces out there, but the fleece I use is very stretchy, and that's what you want to use for these type of builds. So what you want to do is you want to glue this section of the fabric and pull and stretch all that fabric to your seam combined to the sides, and then you can glue that fabric to the side when you do the other side on the back side together, so you can cut off the seams but leave some seam allowance for your fabric if you want to do some sewing. So let me tell you about how you can do some sewing on your projects. For your sewing, you want to learn how to do the ladder stitch, or known as called the Hinson stitch. This stitch helps hide seams on the fabric to be invisible. So if you go over and under the fabric just like this, and then you just don't pull all the way. Don't pull all the way on when you do this, because you want to repeat the same process once you do it the other side, because it forms like a ladder. So once you finish doing that, make sure you take your time with this. Don't rush it. Remember, you're on a time constraint. You have all the time for this. It's like taking your time if you clean your room, or I don't know, whatever you guys do out there, but still, just take your time with it. You don't want to rush this, and you want to make it look perfect. So once you're done with that, just go over and under the fabric, just like this. Go over and under. Richly, not that hard. And then once you pull it together, you should have a really nice stitch that looks something similar to this. See how that looks like that, and I didn't pull it away? So once you do that, make sure you do all that, the repeating process over it like 50 times. So yeah, you want to do this a lot, because you're not going to have a continuous thread continuing like all the way around, because you're going to have some darts to cut off. And then the way to tie your thread to the fabric, you want to do like a whip stitch, which is a locking stitch to the fabric, and then you're just going to cut it off and tie it. Well, you got to tie it first when you finish sewing it, and then tie it off and cut it off. And then with the ladder stitch, when you're done, just pull it. Oh yes, satisfying pull. See how it makes it look invisible? And then you can come back and do something called seam picking. Seam picking is where you pick the seam on the fabric with your needle, just like how you do with brushing your hair just a little bit. Just take your needle side to side, and then you can brush or fluff up the top with the needle, and then you just get a nice seamless stitch. So now you know how to sew. Let's talk about if you don't know how to, and we're going to talk about how you can use a hot glue gun to hide seams well. I have a little challenge for you. Try to find the seam on this. If you can't, I'll give you like 3 seconds to find it. Ready? Go. Did you find it? Well, if you can't see it, I definitely do. So if you can't see it, look really closely to the back of the head, and then you can see the obvious seam line. But if you didn't notice it, that means I hit it pretty good with a hot glue gun. So what you want to do, pull your fabric together really tight once you're stretching it together. Glue it together and make sure it's glued to the end of the base. And then let it cool down, and then just cut off really slowly, really slow cutting. Then once you do that, you should get something similar to this. But if your fabric has gaps, just fill it in with more fabric. Now we're finishing putting the fabric on the actual frame, and it looks super good now. Now my favorite part, the withering. By going by this judgment, you can do any way you want with the withering, or dirtying how you want to dirty it. For me, I want to say how I like how to dirty it. So the way we dirty it, we can cut holes in the mask, fill them with hot glue, and it makes it look like real burns, and paint the edges black, and smear some other stuff. But if you want to make a fixed version, don't do that, or dirty it, just make it stay clean. But if you want to do something different, let's try that. For starters, if you wanted to add holes or like blood, you just cut a simple hole inside the mask, or you just want to make something for your suit, do something similar to this. It's just the same process, and it's super easy. But if you're going to do something similar like my Springtrap suit, make sure you take your time with dirtying the fabric and painting it or airbrushing it. It's going to take you a while to get what you want, but hey, the results are super worth it at the end. And you get something beautiful just like this. And I think the process of this turns out way, way cooler while you take your time and the amount of work and hours. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, let me know. I'll make more videos in the future for you guys. See you in the next one. Bye!